Hey everyone, I want to talk about accountability for a few minutes. Since we are goal setters and achievers, accountability means a lot, right? In the world of goal setting, we hear a lot of talk about accountability. In fact, we hear a lot of people saying, I want to hold you accountable, hold me accountable. Accountability meetings where you meet with your manager who holds you accountable for your goals, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Yes, there is, because it's impossible. You cannot hold someone else accountable. That's a third-party system. That doesn't work in accountability. Let me explain this. So, I think it's erroneous thinking. And it's WISDUMB, D-U-M-B, as you've heard me say in the past, WISDUMB that we all subscribe to, that somehow, some way, someone else can hold us accountable. Now, can someone else check in with us, remind us, encourage us, promote us, build us up? Yeah. Motivate us, excite us, remind us? Yeah, and yeah. They can do all those things. Can they hold us accountable? Well, if you look at the phrase, break it down, and really think about what it means to hold someone accountable, you will realize, like me, because I used to think that you could hold someone else accountable. I didn't ever really think much about the phrase, but you will come to the same conclusion I did, that accountability is a personal process. Let's put it that way. Accountability is something only you can hold yourself to. Why? Because no one else can make you do anything. I learned that true with my kids. Any of you who are parents will know this is true. All you can do is set up an environment wherein the person, the child in that case, will want to change themselves. That's all you can do. You cannot make someone change. You cannot make someone do. Now, I can, if I have a kid that's misbehaving, I can make him fold his arms at dinner time, or wipe his mouth with a cloth at dinner time, or, I don't know why I picked that example, but I can make him do something, okay? But I cannot make him change. He has to make himself change. So I can make him take an action, but inside, if he has no desire for that change to really happen, he may do that one action that one time to avoid a punishment, but inside, he is ultimately the decision maker whether or not he chooses to adopt that new way of thinking, because ultimately that's where it starts. It starts with your thought process. Call it mindset, call it your subconscious. I sometimes call it default. I use the word default. What we go to by default, how we're programmed or pre-wired, that's up to the individual. And all you or I can do as parents, as business partners, as mentors, as entrepreneurs, as managers, as employees, as whatever our role is, where we're talking about the subject of accountability, all we can do is set up an environment wherein that other person will want to be self-accountable to his or her own goals. And that's the truth. So this idea, this notion that we hold each other accountable is just wrong. Mastermind groups, we'll talk about this a lot. One of the things that we want to get together, do a mastermind group so we can hold each other accountable to our goals. Boom, boom, boom. Well, okay, so really what's happening, and I know that the intention is there. They mean well when they say that. What they're really saying is, we want to create an environment where you will hold yourself accountable to your goals. That's really the way that they should say it. It's just not as sexy, right? We're going to hold each other accountable is a lot sexier. It's a lot easier. It's a phrase that we're all more used to, so we say it and we keep saying it, and other people say it, and so we adapt it, and we don't really stop and think what it means. But here's really what's happening. When we try and hold someone else accountable, number one, it's impossible, but number two, we're giving them an excuse to not achieve their goals because someone else is now a scapegoat. So if you are holding someone accountable, you fill a void or a need in that person's life so that if they fall short, and they may not even say, they might not even come to the surface, but deep down inside, you can be part of the reason why that didn't happen. You could have motivated me a little more. You could have done this a little better. Yeah, you weren't holding me accountable. You should have pressed harder. You should have pushed me, this and that. And it becomes a victim mentality for the person trying to achieve their goal. A victim mentality. So I encourage you to avoid the phrase, avoid any terminology or verbiage that has to do with third-party accountability. Because all it's going to do is foster this victim mentality, this victim culture. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you and you alone and nobody else are accountable to yourself for your actions, your way of thinking, and exactly what you do with your time, minute by minute, from the time you wake up till the time that you fall asleep. You and you alone are accountable. Nobody else. Get that thought out of your mind. And if you hear anybody else that is trying to hold you accountable, you can correct them. But we got to stop this thinking of this third-party accountability. Anyways, there's an insight that I had recently about accountability that I wanted to share, and it's just another one of those stupid little wisdom with a D-U-M-B ways of thinking that we subscribe to. But here's one you can subscribe to. Take action. Do something today. Don't put it off. If you're worried, nervous, overwhelmed, scared, have lots of fear, are unsure, maybe your product's imperfect, you know what? Whatever the case, take action anyway. You're scared about something, do it anyway. Something makes you nervous, something doesn't quite seem right yet, but you know that you should do it anyways. Very rarely do we do something in those situations where it's a major mess up. You can always fix, you can always massage, you can always change it later. Unless it's like a major crime that's going to get you in jail, do it anyway. That's a philosophy you can subscribe to. So stop trying to hold each other accountable for your actions. Take your own actions upon your own shoulders. Live your own life to your terms. Ask other people to set up an environment where you will hold yourself to your own accountability and take action toward your goals every single day. That is what will matter.